Okay, gang, this is section 2.3. This is number 55. So notice if you let x go to 0, you're going to get radical 5 minus radical 5, which is 0. And if you plug 0 in here, you're going to get 0. So you're getting an indeterminate form when you try to plug and chug. So that means you have to use a technique to get it out of its indeterminate form so you can solve it. So if you recall, for radicals, I told you you could multiply by the conjugate. So the conjugate is going to be this, except the middle sign will be opposite. So it's radical x plus 5 plus radical 5. And you got to do the same thing to both sides, because this is a very fancy and very sneaky way of multiplying by 1. So it doesn't actually change the problem, right? The same thing over the same thing is a 1. So I'm not actually changing the problem. I'm just sort of reformatting it, right? You're still you if you're in a formal outfit or you're in sweatpants. You're just sort of in a different form, right? So just sort of converting the form, but it's the same problem. All right, so here we go. We're going to multiply. We're going to FOIL. So this times this. So remember, if you have two of the same things under the radical, one comes out. So two of the same thing under the radical, one comes out. Then this times this. It just depends how you want to write it. They're both under the radical, so I can technically write it like this. I'm writing all the steps. You don't have to, because you know the middle terms will cancel. All right, now we'll multiply this guy times this guy. And now this guy times this guy. So there's 2 5s under, which is going to make a 25, and then the square root of 25 is 5. Or 2 under, 1 out, however your brain does it. Now I know this is tricky, but I asked you when you multiply by the conjugate, don't distribute out the other side. And I know the first few times around you're like, why the heck don't I do that? But you'll notice that the common factor falls out if you don't do that, which is what you want. All right, now let's combine like terms. So this and this is a like term, goes away. This and this is a like term, goes away. So this to me is where students get stuck. If they distribute it, they have a problem in the next step. So since I did not distribute it, I don't have a problem, right? I can see that I have common factors which cross out like this. Now if I don't do that, if I distribute, I'm still going to have an indeterminate form and I'm going to be confused. Okay, so I've totally I've moved the radical to the other side, okay? And now I can go ahead and try again. So once you rationalize, you try again. All right, so here I go. I've got the 0. I'm going to plug in. I'm losing the limit now because I'm plugging in. All right, make sure you do the math correctly. Sometimes we forget how to do radicals. We plugged in the 0. That makes it radical 5 plus radical 5. That's the same thing as saying 1 strawberry plus 1 strawberry. Okay, that's going to give us 2 strawberries. So make sure you remember how to do your radicals. It's 1 of these plus 1 of these makes 2 of that kind. Now, I'm fine with this answer. Some of you will rationalize, which is lovely. If you rationalize at the end, you've done this, which will give you 5, radical 5. These 2 5s come out as a 5, multiply times a 2 to make a 10. Okay, this is also perfect. Either of these are fine, gang, okay? All right, I hope that helps. Catch you. Bye-bye.